Meanwhile, in a dead end far, far away.
1001, 1002, 1003. Oh, hey. Well, you can pretty much guess what this episode's about. Welcome to part 17, it feels like, of Project E34. In this episode, it's time for some new dinner plates. Let's bang the gong and get it on. Okay, before we dive into the wheel wells, I gotta answer a couple questions. 1, why am I wearing a different outfit? 2, where the hell have I been for the last month? And 3, why am I suddenly tanned? Let me show you. The action is out here. So what started as a simple backyard cleanup grew into something slightly bigger. Now, like many of you, I'm equal parts cheap, brave, and love to learn new things. And with that, Dead End Restoration's Landscaping Edition involved days of digging, hauling, more digging, learning how to cement, building an amphitheater staircase, sodding, and general manual laboring, all the while trying to keep up appearances at my 9 to 5 and trying to keep our 17 children alive. In the end, it's always extremely satisfying, but like most project cars, you wonder, maybe I should have just paid somebody else to do this. All right, we're going to start with the fronts, and if you want to know my secret for how I find so much time to work on this thing, well, it's clearly non-verbal communication. Works a treat. All right, safety glasses in full effect. Time to take off this clip. That's the way you do it. Next up, I've got the brake pad sensor back here. Now I'm going to disconnect the brake line first and plug that up. It is completely full of gunk right now. Clean that up so you can see that under 3 decades of dirt and grease, there are some hex fittings. These are crow's foot Allen keys. Now it's going to start spilling, so get a rag. Here's my trick for stopping this. I'm going to stick this cap on. Here it's tightened, it's just a spare piece of 1/4-inch tubing. As soon as this comes loose, I'm going to stick that on. Stick that on there. And you've got a plugged brake line. Now we can take our time taking care of the rest. Now there's the 2 dust boots on the back here. Pop. There we go. The guide bolts for the caliper are 7mm hexes. Smart thing to do would have been to turn the steering wheel, but anyway. And out comes the caliper. I'm going to take off the carrier as well. Might need a hammer for this one. I'm going to go with the rubber variety this time so we don't wake up Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. And there she goes. It's a long-ass bolt. Now for the bottom one. There's the caliper bracket. All right, time to get the wire wheel. All right, so we're not doing a full restoration of repainting these, but we definitely want to clean up where the surfaces are, where the ears and the pads are going to be kind of sliding around. You want to clean that up, clean off these bolts a little bit, just so that the pads can slide nicely on the caliper itself. See if I can do this without slicing my hand open this time. Take off the old cobwebs. Molto bene. Now on the main part of the caliper itself, you don't want to touch anything with this rubber ring around it because that'll cause, obviously, fluid to leak out of this cylinder and your brake caliper is toast. So we're just going to be very careful with this one. Ooh, look at that brake dust. Open the door so we don't get the black lung. Is good. Back on the car. Now it's time for the old disc to make its way. You take a lug nut, squeaky squeaky, take a breaker bar, position it like so, and your disc is out. Whew, look at those cobwebs. Now take your wire wheel and definitely mask up for this one. Take your new dinner plate. Don't touch the edges, just touch the inside. And we want to line it up like so. This does not need to be super tight. You definitely don't want to strip this guy. Next time when you're doing the brake job, Just like that is enough. That's time for the bracket to go back on. Numero 1 and numero 2. We're going to torque these down later on. Here's our caliper with our new brake line. All right, so first thing you want to do, you always want to get a new brake sensor that goes in here into this hole like such. You want to clip it in all the way so it's nice and flush. Now, this brake pad with the ears is going to go into the hole of the brake cylinder. But first, we're going to apply some lube. Take some brake lube, and we're just going to put them on the ears over here. A little bit around there. Use our finger in a sec, and along the bottom here. The other part we're going to slather on just a bit is the contact patches on the back of the pad and around the ears so that it glides smoothly. You want to have a rag handy. You do not want to get this on the actual braking surface. Now you take your caliper assembly, you slide the cable in through that hole like so, push the pad into place. There's one. Now this cable routes neatly behind where the brake bleeder valve is. So we're going to plug that in there, tuck it out of the way. Same procedure on the other brake pad. And then slide the caliper with the other pad over top. Now you want to push on the caliper itself to relieve some of the pressure. There goes a bunch of brake fluid. There we go. We're going to take our old guide pins and clean them up first. Grab your brake cleaner. Now that they're nice and clean, you want to apply some brake lube to them as well. Sweating like an Armenian over here. Time to route the brake line. This slides in through here, through the bracket, and then this guy screws in from below. Lock this guy. Nice and tight. Last thing left to do is to take our sensor and the other wire over here, plug them in, clip the wire into the little holder there. It's time to torque everything down. So the carrier bolts to the strut are 81 foot-pounds. And the guide pins on the back are 26 foot-pounds. Put the dust caps back on. Last but not least, the spring retaining clip. Make sure it's fully seated in there. Last thing, extra precaution, spray down the surface of the rotor with brake cleaner. There you have it, front wheel is done. Now we're going to copy paste on the other side, move to the back. Same procedure, start with the clip. Make sure you're wearing your spectacles in case it goes flying in your face. Take off the boots. All right, just like last time, I'm going to detach the brake line for the plug. That guy's plugged off. We can carry on. Time for the carrier bolts, rubber mallet. There's number 1. Here's numero 2. Out comes the caliper. Some prairie fur balls, I think, are still stuck in there. Squeeze out some of that brake juice. What sorcery is this? That is disgusting. Ugh. Out comes the carrier. It's got some voodoo spirits on there too. Discus Maximus, time to get out. There we go. Time to clean the hub. Time to clean the carrier. New dinner plate going in. Line up the bolt. Time for the carrier to go back in. We're going to torque this down at the end. Time to take off the old brake line. New brake line going in. In she goes. Here comes the one in the front. Lube the back and the ears. Right there. And slide her over. Pushing the caliper. And you're in. Time for the clean and lubed up guide pins to go back. There's number 2. The guide pins are 26 foot-pounds. Put the dust caps back on. And the carrier bolt to the trailing arm is 50 foot-pounds. Put the retainer clip back in. There you have it. Rear is done. I'm going to copy and paste on the other side, and then we're going to bleed the brakes. Alright, so before we begin actually bleeding the system, some very important housekeeping items. Number 1, let's open up this guy. See all that brown stuff? No bueno. The other thing you're going to want to do before you even start thinking about bleeding the brakes is if you have a Bosch ABS system of this generation, E34, E36, E32, if this brake fluid reservoir goes dry and air goes into these lines and into this ABS module, it's kaput. Finito. You got to take it out, you got to send it to a specialist. It's the equivalent of stepping over 50 rakes that smack you right in the gonads. When you're bleeding the brakes, constantly keep adding fresh fluid to this thing. Now, I don't know about you, but every time I do a brake job like this, I get the urge to clean out my ears. So let's do that. Take off this little cylinder thingy here. As you can see from the inside, it's pretty nasty and gummed up. Oh yeah, I haven't cleaned my ears in a very long time. That's just embarrassing. That's looking a lot more respectable. Now the reason I'm not sticking a whole rag in here and cleaning out this bottom is because I do not want to risk all of this going dry and introducing air into the ABS. Agitate this a little bit so that it gets flushed through the lines and comes out when we suck it out on the other end. So pat myself on the back. I think I had one of these moments because I bought one of these bad boys off of Amazon. And what it is basically a very cheap DIY brake bleeder kit. You basically hook up your air compressor here, you hook up a line that goes to your caliper on to here, and when you release this valve, what's meant to happen is it's supposed to help suck up fluid from the caliper without you having to basically pump the brakes using a friend. So we're going to test this out for your consumer advice. Now, if you're wondering how our contraption did, well, I tested it on the back. So the way the sequence for bleeding the brakes is you bleed the furthest wheel away, which is the passenger rear, then the driver's rear, then the passenger front, then the driver's front. So I did the passenger rear, and look at the wonderful goop that came out. Actually, this thing worked pretty sweet. This was about 3-4 minutes worth of work. So let's get to it. All right, so here's the deal. You hook up your contraption to a compressor. I'm gonna hang this up neatly up here. We've got our bleeder screw over here, which we're gonna open up in a sec. 7 mil to loosen it up. Now we're gonna take the end over here. All right, so first I'm gonna pump it by foot to get some of the fluid going, and then we're gonna open the valve here and suck out the rest of it in the system. Let me show you. Pump the brake. As you saw, some fluid came out. Now check this out. Watch the vacuuming begin. You can see all the old fluid coming out. Now I'm going to close this, pump the brake some more. Now the fluid that is coming out is starting to look a lot more clear than it was before. But let's repeat this process a couple times, and every single time I'm pumping the brakes, I'm checking that fluid reservoir under the hood to make sure it does not run dry. Okay, fluid coming out of here looks pretty clean, no air bubbles. Let's button this up. So pop this up, raise it as high as you can, and open the valve. Good, good. Highly recommend this thing. Just look at the state of that liquid in there now compared to this, which we took out. Make sure you top it up, put this guy back in, put the sleeve back in, put the cover with the sensor back on, tighten that down, and you're done. Easy peasy. So there you have it, quick and easy DIY on how to do a complete brake service on an E34. Brakes is one of those things where most people are afraid to do it, but it's actually quite simple. There's very few moving parts. If you got the right tools and patience, there's not much that can go wrong. I'm going to leave a link in the description for that tool that I got off Amazon, not a sponsored vid, but for 30-40 bucks, to me it's a no-brainer if you have an air compressor already. The next video is going to be the power steering pump, which has got to be changed unfortunately, the motor mounts, which appear to be quite shot, and then all the other fluids going on underneath the car. And then we're going to take it for a proper test drive all the way across the GTA to a buddy of mine in the West End who owns a paint shop, and we're going to see what kind of quotes we can get for a fresh set of skin on the E34, and you'll come along for the ride. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Adios. See you next time.